Hello everyone, welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. Myself Mohammad Zubair, and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro really fast. So the topic of today's video is Visual Studio 2022 tutorial. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's open our Visual Studio first. So I will just search for Visual Studio. So I will just open it and I will create a project in here. Well, you might be wondering that why do we need to create a project? Well, I will create a project to show you some things which Microsoft has included in this version of Visual Studio 2022. For that, I will just click on it which says create a new project, and now I will search for C++ because I will just create a simple application, or you can say simple code file for C++. So I will just write here C++, and here we have all the things which are related to C++. I will just go with the console app. I'm going with the simple option here. So I will just click on it, and now I will click on next. After that, you have to name your project. You can name it anything. I will name it as Skills Build, and then click on create. It will take some time, like some seconds, and then we are done and we are good to go with our first C++ Visual Studio 2022 project. This is the main file which is by default here, and these are the comments. If you are a programmer or if you have some knowledge about programming, you might have an idea that double backslash means we have a comment line. So if you want to delete this, you can delete these lines because it does not affect your program, and I will remove these one as well. Now I will include one more library here, and that will be include stdio.h, and then I will add one more thing here, and that is using namespace std. Well, you might be wondering that why I have included this. As you can see here that we have std : cout hello world. Well, it was here because we did not have included std globally. But now, as we have included std on global level, we do not have to read it on every command. Before declaring it globally, we had to use std on local level whenever we use cout or cin command. But now, as we have declared it globally, so we do not need this anymore. I will just delete this, and now if I run my program, a console window will open up, and then we will have our output on our console. And here you can see we have our output on the console. Now let's add some more functionalities in this program. I will take a variable with the name a, and I will initialize it with value of 10. And now I will take another variable and I will name it as b, and I will give value of 20. Now what I want to do, I want to add a plus b. So what I will do, I will take another variable and I will name it as c, and what I will do, I will add a and b together. Now what we need to do, we need to print the output, means we need to print the c variable. For that I will write c out, and now I will write c, because all the result which have been computed from adding a plus b is getting stored in this variable, and now we are printing this c variable. So we are good to go. Now I will run my program here, and here you can see it says 30. I will close this. Let's have an array here. I will name it as numbers, and size of that array would be 5. And now let's initiate it. I will give it value like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are done with declaring and initializing our array. And now let's have a for loop to access the element of this array. Int I equals 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. And now what I will do, I will print all these elements which are present in this array, and the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I will just write here cout. I will call the array, and here it is, and then I will pass the I here. As long as my for loop will get initialized and it will get executed, in every cycle it will print each value from this array. Now let's run our program, and here you can see we have the output, but at the moment this output doesn't make sense. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to add one more thing, and that is /n. It will print out the output on the next line, and as it is a string type, so we need to use inverted commas and then /n. I will do the same here as well, inverted commas /n. And now let's run our program. And now here you can see that we have hello world, then we have the addition of a plus b, and then we have all the elements of our array, which are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now why we have done all this? Well, I wanted to show you that what are the new features which have been added by Microsoft in this Visual Studio 2022. The first feature which I want to talk to you about is Git. Here you can see we have a separate section with the name of Git. If you click on it, here you will have all the options which are related to the Git. But here you also have a tab which says Git changes. Just click on it, and what you can do, you can create your Git repository and you can download your repository from the web as well. What it means if you have a project which is present on your GitHub, you can just download it and you can run it in your Visual Studio 2022 straight away. And by means of create Git repository, what it will do, it will create a repository on your GitHub for this project, which is skills build. If you remember, when we created this project, we named it as skills build, and now if we create Git repository, this project will get uploaded on our GitHub. And what we can do, we can share that project with anyone. For example, if you have your peer programmer in your company, what they can do, they can download that project from the GitHub and then they can start working from where you left. So this is a really cool feature and this is a very convenient one. So what I'm going to do, I will click on create Git repository button, and here is my account and here is the name of owner, which is me. For the first time, it will ask you to add your account here. I have already done that, so that is why it has not asked me to do that. If you click on this drop down icon, here you can add another account. Means if you have multiple accounts on GitHub, you can add that here. And here is the repository name. Means by the name of this, a repository will be created on GitHub, and then you can access that repository, you can download that repository, or you can share that repository with your peer programmer or with your friends or with anyone as you like. And here we have the security, or you can say the privacy. At the moment, it is the private repository. If you want to change it, you can change it just by clicking on this checkbox, and now you can share this repository with anyone and that person will be able to use this repository as well. Now I just need to click on this button which says create and push. But before that, this is the link where our repository will be created. So I will just click on create and push. Now our project is being creating and pushing on the GitHub. So we are done. Now let's open the browser, and now let's open the GitHub. And here you can see we have a project with the name of skills build, and it says updated 32 seconds ago. So how cool it is and how fast it is that we just created the project and we just created the repository and it got uploaded in just few seconds. Now I will open this, and this is my project. I will open this, and this is the file which I was working on. And if you remember, we had an addition function and we also had an array, and then we used a for loop in that as well. And if you remember, this is the same file which we created and we modified with some more code. So now you might have an idea that how to create a repository using Visual Studio 2022 and then how we can access it. So we are back in our Visual Studio 2022. So what I'm going to do, I will close this one and I will close my project as well. I will close Solution Explorer as well here. What I want to show you here, let's click on Git again, and now let's click on Clone Repository. What it will do, it will download a repository from GitHub and it will include it, or you can say it will open it in our Visual Studio 2022. I will just click on it, and here it says repository location, means you have to enter the URL of the repository which you want to include or download in your Visual Studio 2022. So what we need to do, we need to go back to our web browser, and from here we need to copy the URL path for this project. I will click on skills build, and from here click on this drop down arrow and now copy this path. So just click on this icon and your path is copied. Here make sure that you copy the HTTPS path, not the SSH path, because in SSH path you need a password and that is a bit of hectic thing. So do not go there, just go with HTTPS. Click on it and just copy your path. And now we are done with copying our path. Go back and now just paste that path, and here it says the local path is not valid. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this path. So you can create any other path. I'm going in my D directory, and here I will create a new folder and I will name it as skills build GitHub, and then I will click on select folder, and here you can see that now we do not have any error. And after that just click on this button which says clone, and now it is cloning the repository, and then we'll be able to use that in our Visual Studio 2022. And here you can see we have skills build available here. I will open it, and here it is. Here we have the project with the name of skills build. So I will double click on it again and I will go to my source files, and now I will just click on skills build, and this is the file of skills build. I will close this one, and here you can see we have the same file which we created earlier, and then we uploaded that file on our GitHub, and then we just downloaded the repository, and now we can use it from where we left. And this is the benefit of having GitHub, that we can work on a single project as a team. Mean if I'm working on something and my team member is working on some other module, what we can do, we can compare and we can check our work at the end, that what is the progress and where we stand at the moment. I will go back to again Git, and here we have more option. We have fetch, we have pull here, and then we have push. For those who do not know that what fetch, pull or push is, well, when we use push command, it uploads our local repository content to a remote repository. For example, this is my local repository because it is available to me locally. But when I will push this, what it will do, it will push this repository globally. By global mean on GitHub, and from GitHub anyone can access this if I have this repository as public. But if it is private, no one can access it except me or those to whom I have given the permission. In pull, as you can see, we have the down arrow. It means we will download the global repository on our local level. For example, as I have shown you that when we cloned our repository, what it did, it downloaded the repository from GitHub and it opened it in Visual Studio 2022. So this is the function of pull push command. Now let's click on view, and here we have an option which says Team Explorer. So just click on it, and this is for those who work in a team. As I have told you earlier that we can work in a team on a single project now in Visual Studio 2022, and with the help of this feature, this is possible now. You can go with the Git changes or you can go with the Git repository as well. And here you can see master is Muhammad Zubair, which is me, because I am the one who created this project and who created this repository. So what I can do, I can add different childs here, and those child will be able to access this project and work on it. If I click on this arrow, it will go to child, and if I click on back again, it will go back to master. And this is how cool and how easy it is in Visual Studio 2022 to work with teams. Now I will close this, and now I will discuss with you one more thing in here, and that is debugging in Visual Studio 2022. Before moving on to debugging, let's explore some of the basic functionalities, or you can say some of the basic features of Visual Studio 2022. Here if we go in the files, here we have different options, like we can create new project from here, we can open an existing one. Like if I go here and if I click on project or solution, you can open a folder, a website, a file as well here. But let's open a project or solution here. So just click on it, and this is the directory where I have all the projects open, or you can say these are all the projects which I have created in my Visual Studio 2022. So from here, select any project which you want to open here. So this is how you can open a project in your Visual Studio 2022. And after that, if we go into tools and then click on options, here we have different options which we can perform, or you can say different tweaks which we can do with respect to our Visual Studio 2022. Like if I want to change my font style and the color of text, so just click on it, and here you have different options. Here you have a different font style, like you can choose any one from the available one, and then you have the font size here as well. And then you can change the foreground and the background, and here you have different more other options here, so you can tweak them and you can adjust them as per your own liking or as per your needs. So I will just cancel this one or just close it. I want to show you one more thing here, and that is if I close my Solution Explorer window here, and now if I go to my view and again if I click on Solution Explorer, here you can see it is coming right beside the skills build window. I mean, where I am coding at the moment, it is appearing right beside it. I do not want it to be present here. So what I can do, I can just drag it and I can adjust it on the screen. But as you can see, as I'm dropping it here, it is covering the whole screen. So what I can do, I can drag it, and here on the screen you have a different hints, or you can say different suggestion to set your screen on your window. And each one of these hints suggests you that if you drop on one of them, your screen will get adjusted according to it. So what I will do, I will drag it and I will drop it onto this one. And what it will do, it will adjust the Solution Explorer screen inside my coding screen. So here you can see that I'm going to drop it, and here it is. So this is how you can adjust your different screens on your Windows. I'm going to readjust it, and now this is more adjusted and more suitable work environment than it was earlier. Now that was all about some of the basic options, or you can say some of the basic features of Visual Studio 2022. Now one more thing which I want to talk to you about is Intellisense. Here let's add another for loop. I will write here for, and here you can see we have different options, or you can say different suggestions down here. I will click on for, or you can use your arrow key, and now as we are on for, just hit enter, and here you can see we have the body, or you can say the structure of for loop, and this structure instructing you that how to initialize your for loop. Here it says your size of for loop will come, then here you will enter the length of your for loop. So this is how cool it is that with the help of Intellisense, we have a lot of hints and a lot of structures of any data structure, because obviously for loop is a data structure, and we just entered for and then we had whole structure regarding it. So this is how Intellisense work. I will remove this, and now if I go above and here if I write using name, I have just written the name and we have all the suggestions here, and here it says namespace. Select this one and hit enter, and you can see we have the namespace appeared here, and here you can use anyone as per your liking. I will remove this, and this is how you can use Intellisense in your code, and surely it saves you a lot of time as you do not have to enter the whole code, or in case if you do not remember the structure of any particular data structure, Intellisense is there to help you out. Now let's move ahead with debugging. Before doing debugging, we need to create a breakpoint in our project. So let's say I'm going to create a breakpoint at line number 11. Creating a breakpoint is really easy. You just need to go on the left side of your screen and just click it. And here you can see we have a red dot appeared here, and it means we have a breakpoint in our program. And now if I run my program, what it will do, it will not show the output, it will go into the debugger mode. I will click on it, and here you can see it is building our project, and now it will not show the output. And here we have all the information, like we have the variables here, A, B and C, and these are the variables. If you click on locals, what you will have here, you will have all the variables which are present to you locally. And here you can see we have A, B, C, and then we have numbers. Number is a type of an array, that is why we have the address of numbers here. And at this side we have the output, and down here we have call stack, and then we have breakpoints. Here you will have all the breakpoints which you have created in your project. For example, if you have a file with thousands of lines of code, and then in that file you have multiple breakpoints, so it will be really hard for you to go through each breakpoint. So what this section will do, this section will show you all the breakpoints here. For example, if I create one more here, and here you can see we have one more breakpoint appeared here, and we have the line number here as well. And here we have all the process memory and all the CPU usage percentage here. Means how much resources our program is using at the moment. We will have all the information in here. At the moment it is not using any noticeable resources, that is why we do not have any output, or you can say we do not have any value on the graph. But when you will be working on enormous project, you will see a lot of readings here. And then we have events here, we have memory usage section, then we have CPU usage section, and we have several other options down here as well. And in debugger we have three more options which says step into, step over, and then step out. I will click on step over, and what it will do, it will move one line further. And here you can see our arrow, which is right here, is moving 1 point ahead. I will remove this breakpoint. For that, just click on it again, and we do not have that breakpoint anymore. Now I will click on again next, and here you can see with every click we are having different outputs here. I will click on it again, and this is how you debug your program in Visual Studio. To stop debugger mode, just click on this red button which says stop debugging. Just click on it, and now we are out of debugging mode. I will click on this endpoint again, and now we do not have any endpoint, and now I will run my program here, and here you can see we have the output. I will close this one, and that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you have learned many new things in this video, as we have new features and new functionalities in Visual Studio 2022, and Git was the prominent of all of them. So please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon as well, so that you do not miss any future videos from us. In case if you have something to ask, please leave a comment below. We will get back to you as soon as possible. Till the next video, take care. We will see you in another video.